Vital Signs is important because it's storytelling. It tells the story of Toronto. It takes all that data and turns it into something that's understandable for people.
It's like doing the science before you clean up a lake or anything else. You have to know what the real problems are. You have to understand them before you can solve them.
I believe it's a powerful tool for guiding individual philanthropy.
I also hope to learn what it is that we need to be focusing on to make Toronto just that much of a better place for everybody to live in.
I'm excited to be in a room filled with people who are contributing so much to the city today.
Just to have a real catch up on what progress we've made, where we have to go, and how we're going to get there.
I believe strongly that the world needs Toronto to succeed. This is the Toronto Community Foundation's 10th annual report on the quality of life of our city. And thanks again to our lead research partner, George Brown College, we're able to bring to you a very important story about Toronto and share it with Toronto. It's also the most remarkable, in my opinion, of all our reports because it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Toronto is truly on the edge. We're on the edge of two very different kinds of city. Now we know this because Toronto Community Foundation is very close to the heart of the challenges of Toronto. And we know what drives it in one direction or another. And let me tell you what put us in that position. Our foundation has been in Toronto since 1981. We are very proud to be a part of a public philanthropic movement of over 175 community foundations in Canada and over 1,600 in the world. In our foundation, we are focused on making Toronto the best city that it can be, and we do that by connecting philanthropy with community needs and opportunities. We use the Vital Signs report itself to identify the real needs in the city. Then we identify, and with our fund holders and our wide array of partners, we identify the solutions to those needs, and we support the community organizations providing those solutions, all to make Toronto a much better place for all of us. We identify the needs and support the solutions. We call that the art of wise giving. But this is not your grandfather's philanthropy of writing checks and brass plaques. We believe that today's philanthropy is much, much more. It's becoming the place that brings the public sector and the private sector together to develop innovative solutions to wicked city-building problems in particular. What Toronto needs most, what will set us in one direction instead of another, is to create a vision for ourselves, to build the kind of city I believe we all want. Smarter, healthier, more inclusive, more creative, and richer in every sense of that word. We are at a turning point in history when many cities of the world are turning to us to provide the example of how they can become more livable. Now that the world is taking notice, I believe we've got an obligation to show them not only what we stand for, but what we are prepared to stand up for. On this, the 100th anniversary of the birth of our own Marshall McLuhan, we do well to remember his view on the importance of this belief. "I wouldn't have seen it," said McLuhan, "if I didn't believe it." And let's not forget the two words that motivated Canada's athletes and their millions of fans to more gold medals in Vancouver than any other Olympics. Those two words, I believe. And I believe what we need to stand up for is the kind of deep, organic, homegrown, made in Toronto diversity of perspectives and peoples that the world has never seen. And that is precisely why the world needs Toronto to succeed. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with it and show them how it's done. Thank you very much.
The next step for the people in this room is hopefully to galvanize around the two messages that Rahul left. One is to be more thoughtful about our vision and how we connect ourselves to our city and our politicians who have an impact on that.
I believe that the basic chemistry is there for people to care about the city. Vital signs is a good way to pointing towards what are some of the really prominent limitations or obstacles in our way, and actually points towards solutions.
If we value the health of our city and the kind of cultural wealth of our city, and if we want our city to be a great place to live, to have children, to grow up in, and a place that's fair for everybody, we're really expressing, we're enunciating that vision, we're laying it out in a kind of concrete way.
I think the second thing I'd like is for people to get more connected to the Toronto Community Foundation. We have a wonderful ability to influence the direction of the city through philanthropy, and to the extent that people can become more philanthropic and engage with the Toronto Community Foundation, we all win.